there's only one award show for gamers, G-Phoria, where wondrous celebs, heavenly bands, and gaming's biggest awards come together in a paradise for players. Check out this year's nominees in The Road to G-Phoria.
What makes a video game great? I would say the graphics, the concept, story.
It's got to be something that you want to keep picking up over and over again. I mean, great graphics are nice, but you can't have a great game unless it's fun to play.
I don't think it's graphics, and I don't think it's buttons. I think it's spirit.
So the number one thing is fun. You have to be able to sit down, and you have to not want to leave. So that's probably the greatest thing in the world. Graphics, sound, all that other stuff is all secondary to that.
The nominees for favorite character.
So Sam Fisher, I mean, he's a cool guy because he's just like the perfect spy. You have Michael Ironside playing Sam Fisher, so he creates this great gravelly voice for him.
You've always had a talent for the obvious.
And he's sort of sneaking around, and he just feels like a cool, hip spy that you want to play.
Who doesn't want to sneak around in the shadows and still feel like you're a badass? I mean, you don't need to fire a rocket launcher to be able to do that.
Sam is the ultimate super spy. He's not quite as suave as James Bond. He's always in the shadows. But, I mean, if you're a gadget freak, you gotta love it. He's got gadgets galore.
That Sam Fisher is the most complex video game character in history. No other game has ever introduced a protagonist who's so conflicted about what they do.
The world is small, nasty, and complicated, and everybody dies alone.
The return of Ryu in Ninja Gaiden was a exciting moment for a lot of us gamers, I think. Getting to see him in all of his next generation glory.
That's what you want a ninja to be like. You want him to be that awesome. You want him to have moves like that. You want him to, jump around, jump on walls, slicing and dicing people left and right. And that's what makes a cool character.
And this guy is badass. He is a ninja with a repertoire of moves that's never been seen before in the video game world.
I mean, he can do it all. He's fast, he's agile, he's limber, he's obviously ruthless. He doesn't have a lot to say, just likes to cut things up.
HK-47 is one of the greatest robots in game history. He is essentially a butler of death.
I mean, he hates humans, and he just wants to kill everybody. But he does it in such an endearing and charming way that you can't help but love the little guy.
The way he will faithfully and loyally ask you if he should kill the person you're talking to in the middle of, buying supplies is awesome.
I will once again endeavor to eliminate any meatbag opposition you may have.
This is not how a droid is supposed to act. A droid with a secret is not supposed to exist. A droid who sasses you back. This goes against all robot logic.
No, he's certainly not subservient, and he's not even respectful. He's out there, and he knows he's superior, and he doesn't mind telling every meatbag on the planet.
Of his meatbag's meatbag, a meatbag will surely pay. Did I say that out loud?
Joe is just the everyman. Joe is that teenager that we all were growing up that wanted to be a superhero, and he gets the chance.
He does all of the things that you imagine these, movie superheroes, comic book superheroes to do, and he does them with such style to make you feel like you're a total badass.
Yeah, how many of us haven't watched a movie when we were little kids and wished we were that guy in the movie? And how many of us didn't run around the house wearing a cape at some point during our childhood? And he's living the dream.
What can you say about a guy that screams henshin and go-go baby?
Henshin and go-go baby!
It's just a weird, cool, freaky character.
Anyone could dream up some, another spy, another guy with, a 5 o'clock shadow and, a spiky haircut that's in a game. But to create a character like Beautiful Joe, that takes creativity.
You want some?
The character of you in Tony Hawk's Underground is compelling, kind of at the risk of sounding obvious, because it's you. You're not projecting your own attitudes onto some sort of superhuman character anywhere or in some exotic place. It's literally just a guy off the street, just like any one of us.
That is cool.
More than any other game, probably, you are the main character. You are the player. And so as long as you think you're interesting, it should be interesting in the game.
So I was a skateboarder when I was a kid, and now you can snap a picture of yourself and sync yourself into the game. And it's more immersive, you think a little bit more about taking that one extra, kick flip or, one less rotation. maybe because, you know, you're in the game now, so, you know, it's more personalized. It's very cool. So, of course, I'm the coolest character in the world.
Oh, I mean, you scream, you roll around, you cuss, and you suck.
Die, mother.
I'm a busy man. I only have 10, 15 minutes to whoop your ass, and that's it.
Like now what, boy? Huh? Huh? Yeah, what? Huh? 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 Yeah, boy, yeah, you go. Oh.
I'm killing you, Joe.
Oh, I mean, you scream, you roll around, you cuss.
Die, mother.
And you suck. It's probably bleep, 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 bleep.
What else do you need to say to a big evil alien that's trying to kill you? Just mother.
Hey, ugly mother. You suck.
Sorry. She just talking trash on me?
The nominees for Best Multiplayer Game.
Crimson Skies was probably my favorite multiplayer game of last year. Being able to go on to Xbox Live and have a dogfight with complete strangers and shoot them out of the sky was just perfect.
There's tight little caverns. You can do all those stunts with turning the plane sideways and getting into little crevices and canyons and stuff. And knowing that there's a live person on your tail, worse than that, talking smack over the headset, it was absolutely the coolest thing that I did on Xbox Live all year was Crimson Skies.
SOCOM 2 is a great, military simulation. It's a small group of fellas, maybe you and just a few other guys, and you're going out and you have a specific job to do. And the voice communicator really enables you to coordinate your actions and get in there.
That's a kill.
One of the great things about playing this game multiplayer online is that you do have a voice capability and you are able to communicate with your comrades in your squad.
And it's got a few more different ways to take people out, but that's really what it's all about.
Yeah, Rainbow Six 3 on Xbox is quite an incredible online experience. You jump into a game and all of a sudden you hear the voices coming through, and it's really a loud and much more coordinated multiplayer experience.
It's all about having up to 80 of your friends on one team, 8 on the other going in. You're all talking to each other. The game is, you can die in one shot, and so you have to use teamwork.
The Pandora Tomorrow brought an entirely new way of doing multiplayer online. It's something that I think we're going to see a lot of games try to emulate in the next couple of years.
The multiplayer aspect of that is probably one of the most revolutionary multiplayer modes ever. Playing on the two different sides is a completely different experience.
Unreal Tournament 2004 is, to my mind, the best multiplayer game probably ever.
Hearing the voiceovers headshot and killing spree. It's enormously satisfying.
It's just one of the best multiplayer games just because it just brings back Unreal Tournament to what it originally was, just this fun game where you can just frag the hell out of all your friends.
I've broken 3 mice playing this damn game already. Okay, I love it.
Okay, this may sound weird, but you know how you're like in the bathroom for a long time?
The bathroom, man. The bathroom, you got more privacy.
I spend a lot of time on the toilet. In fact, I've developed hemorrhoids from it. But I mean, the hemorrhoids would come a little easier if I knew I could play some video games while on the toilet.
When you're meeting the young ladies, I like to keep occupied.
In church, if you're waiting to go get communion or have a confessional, it might be fun and inappropriate at the same time to be playing and yelling mother.
I had a great idea with this. I would love to take a Game Boy, play a video game during a screening of The Passion of the Christ. And I would keep it just out of frame, and the whole movie I'd be playing and yelling kill him! You die! Look at you, you're all bloody now! I'm kicking your ass, man! Die, die, die! And then when the Christians got upset, I'd say, no, I'm talking about Max Payne. See, not your Lord and Savior.
I would love to play naked at the Vatican. Is that so wrong?
The nominees for Best Handheld Game.
Castlevania Aria of Sorrow brought back the old Castlevania that all of us loved. And it brought back everything that's great about vampire hunting.
The thing that warms my heart about the series continuing on the GBA is it continues almost uninterrupted from, its 16-bit days.
Castlevania for me kind of embodies what gaming is all about. It's one of the reasons that I've got into gaming in the first place.
Final Fantasy Tactics Advance is the biggest time suck on GBA. And the best part of it isn't that it takes so much time, it's that you love every second of it.
That game stole more hours of my life than think, any other handheld game ever.
You don't need lots of graphics, it's not complicated. It's really deep, and that's exactly the kind of game you want to have on the go.
Mario & Luigi's Superstar Saga is about as close as you can come to having a tribute game to a series that's still in its prime.
Superstar Saga is a really, really clever little game. I think it's sort of indicative of what makes Nintendo still relevant, even in this day and age.
Fawful, the villain, is probably my new favorite video game character. It gets to show I have fury, I am the mustard of your doom, and stuff like that. It's just great.
Metroid Zero Mission is just the culmination of Metroid evolution over the last however many years since the original one was released.
Everybody remembered playing Metroid on the NES, and to be able to return to that same environment, and yet it was a new environment, was really exciting.
Metroid was one of the best games of all time, and they just took it and they made it better.
WarioWare is the most frenetic, fast-paced, crazy game.
I mean, how can you not like a game where you're picking noses and you're wiping out boogies?
It's so random, so quirky, but you cannot put it down.
It's like a game that has ADD. If you can't keep a thought for more than 3 seconds, this is the game for you.
That game makes me giggle.
Pac-Man's pretty hot. Well, he looks like he's really good with his mouth.
The one in particular I think I really have a chance with is Polly, the hot blonde from the original Donkey Kong.
Wonder Woman. Always have been in love with Wonder Woman.
The two men in her life are Mario and Donkey Kong, both big, fat, hairy guys.
I fantasized about Thunder the Barbarian. I fantasized about animated Tarzan.
I think I have a great chance being a fat, hairy slob.
I'm gonna also go with Pepe Le Pew because there is something really attractive about his confidence.
I love Betty from Archie Comics. If Betty could be made into a video game, that would be the ultimate video game chick.
I do want to clear one thing up though. Pepe Le Pew does not stink because he's a skunk. He stinks because he's French.
Do you guys remember Super Chicken?
Jessica Rabbit from Roger Rabbit.
Oh, Jessica Rabbit's hands down.
That damn Jessica Rabbit, man. Wow, man.
The nominees for hottest character.
Who's the hottest character who had the least screen time in a game? It's probably Farah from Prince of Persia.
She has personality and she's a headstrong girl and she knows what she wants.
Farah was a great character because she was, not only was she hot, but she could also get the job done.
Please don't look at me like that.
She's simple, she seems down to earth. It's like the girl you don't want to have one night stand with, but you want to marry.
Yeah, Ivy sort of appeals to the darker dominatrix side of video game hotness. A little bit disturbing.
Okay, now here's where borderline's on fetish phase. When you see a woman dressed up in leather with a sword, whip thing, and, starts like pulling all these random moves and splits in midair. You know what? I felt weird playing the game. I felt a little unclean, but, I soldiered through.
There'll be people who say, I'm not into that sort of thing, but everyone is into that sort of thing.
What can you say about a woman with whip and leather? Tasty.
Are you satisfied now?
Stacy Keebler, she's got legs and she knows how to use them. Basically, that's her. She's quite a looker, and she definitely ranks up there as one of the hottest females in video games.
She's sexy because she's gorgeous. She's tall, she's pretty, she's got a great figure, and a great smile.
3 words, bra and panties match. That's really all you need to say.
The minute that I found out there was a bra and panty match, I just had to go out and buy the game because, her bra and panty had to come off.
Very nice girl. Hot, nice girl. Riku, she's spunky and she kicks ass. She's, you know what, maybe I'm a sucker for those little blonde dread things she has going on. Works for me.
I think this is going to be an answer you hear a lot for some of these characters, but there's something that's hot about girls who look great and could completely kick your ass.
Riku, she's amazing. She's bubbly and cute, and she's not gratuitously sexy. She's girl next door sexy.
She's sort of a modern girl in a Final Fantasy setting, and by that I mean she's headstrong, she's confident, she's sassy, and it doesn't hurt that she looks pretty good in a bikini.
Vanessa Schneider in Piano 3 looks cool every move she makes. She does cartwheels across hallways while she's shooting enemies down the way. She looks very stylish and very slick.
The Vanessa model is so graceful and so beautiful, and she dances her moves. She shoots from her hands, and she does like a beautiful, almost poetic dance to her shooting. It's just too beautiful for words.
She, perhaps the sexiest video game character that's been made, and that comes down to not just the design of the character, but the way it was animated. I mean, femininity was just on the screen.
She's so hot, though. My God. I think I like video game characters a little too much.
If I could meet Lara Croft, the first thing I would say to her is, girl, those ain't real.
Not interrupting, am I?
I'd ask her if it's, if she's on, is it low carb? Like, is it extra cardio? I don't know what it is she does, but she looks really good.
If I could meet Lara Croft, the first thing I would say to her is, girl, those ain't real.
Well, I'm not quite sure where you're coming from.
Put the gun down, baby. Let's just take a little swim. Go find some treasures. That is sick, man. Why y'all asking me that?
Lara Croft, personally, I just want to be her butler. Because she's tired when she gets home. She needs somebody to rub her feet, rub her back, relieve that bra of some stress.
Give a girl a break.
I think that if I met Lara Croft, I would definitely ask her, do you also make out with your brother?
No, and no.
Why don't you seriously consider a breast reduction? Because she's doing all this fighting and climbing and kicking, and that's got to cause serious lower back pain.
Over my dead body.
Because she's got nice guns, I mean, muscles.
Don't you think you've seen enough?
Nominees for Best Female Voice Performance.
Nice prize, but I have a better one.
Shannon Elizabeth was surprisingly funny in that game. She was much more natural than I sort of expected her to be. She was surprisingly entertaining and likable. I was impressed.
Well, Shannon Elizabeth looked great on the title screen, didn't she, in that silky dress? Well, I think all the characters in the Bond game really helped make it feel like it was, they were building something like a movie in a game, and her part wasn't huge, but then the Bond girls tend not to be, and they turn up and look good and then have some kind of terrible distress and you have to go and rescue them. And she was great for that. She said all the right things and she looked good, and so it worked.
All of the nanobots were destroyed, except for one.
Heidi Klum in James Bond is, she's the girl you've always wanted to be in that game, and her digital version is very nice.
Does it look like me?
When I loaded up the game, I'm like, okay, here we go, model, whatever. She actually did a good job. It surprised the hell out of me. Convincing and sultry voice, too. I mean, total package.
And I'm a real bad girl.
Maya in James Bond, Everything or Nothing, pulls off doing the theme song, playing a secret agent, getting captured, then getting rescued.
Thank you for saving my life.
All the while, playing this sort of undercover lounge lizard.
She didn't just do a voiceover session for James Bond Everything or Nothing. She actually wrote her own song for the game. So, she wasn't just going in for a 2-hour recording session. She spent hours in the studio actually writing, producing, and recording a whole song for the game.
With her, I think she was as much about making it feel more than a Bond game and more of a Bond movie.
You are bad news.
Michelle Rodriguez, she really gets games. I mean, she understands what people expect out of a game, and she definitely throws herself into the characters.
In the movie, she's pretty much typecast as, this tough, gritty girl. She really pulled off well the attitude, the look, everything, and just hearing her voice, it kind of completed that character and who that person is.
Nick.
She's got a certain something in movies, and I think it was interesting that it did come across in her voice work in True Crime.
Oops, must have slipped.
There's something a little bit sassy about her, and I think, you know, it really worked.
And I suppose that would make you the poster child for anger management? Okay, I'll give him the details.
The cool thing about Jada Pinkett Smith in Enter the Matrix is you really felt like you were part of the Matrix universe when you listened to her.
I was saving this for a special occasion.
Jada Pinkett Smith did a great job of expanding the character and giving a lot of life to that character, so that when you went back to the movies, you got to see that character in a whole new light.
She's hardcore, and she's hard-edged, and she's smart, and she's fast. And she's also needy enough that she needs other people to help her out emotionally.
For her to go through what she went through, to make it as good as she did, which in the end was fantastic, I thought was pretty amazing.
If we fail, Neo fails, and that cannot happen.
The road to G-Phoria continues. Here's what to expect from Volume 3. It's up to you to decide who wins. Go to G4TechTV.com/G-Phoria and vote on your favorite games now. It's up to you to choose which games win at this year's G-Phoria, the award show for gamers. Go to G4TechTV.com/G-Phoria and decide who gets best game, character, soundtrack, and more. Press, vote, and make your voice heard. It's all part of G-Phoria, presented by EB Games and Jeep.
Coming up next, Sweat, followed by the Electric Playground at 9 and Judgment Day at 9:30.